Hello, it's Gav from IGN, and I'm here with Peter and Paul from Rare, and we're having a go on the Rare Replay. I mean, when you get Rare Replay, this is what you get. So guys, if you could talk us through the game gallery, that'd be amazing.
Sure. Well, as I say, welcome to Rare Replay, and for us it's all about showcasing over 30 years of Rare games, and we wanted to select 30 games that really showcase Rare's unique qualities as a games development studio.
I think first and foremost, we wanted to make the collection feel like it wasn't just simply a UI, simply a set of menus that you could navigate. I think from the attract mode, which is kind of very exciting and immersive, coming through to here, we wanted to give the impression that give this kind of sense of space that you've come into like the atrium of a theatre, and you're about to see this big showcase, and that's really what it is. It's a showcase of all our 30 games, and so from the point where you come through into the atrium, you get a little snippet of each of the games, and then from here you can go through into one of the stages, and this really is where we take that game that you know and love, and we've quite literally put it on a stage for you to kind of see, and from there obviously you go through to the game.
How did you come about? How did you choose the games? Because obviously you've got quite a lot of games at Rare. So how did you go about choosing them?
The way that we wanted to do it, and like you say, when we first started, there was just so many games that we went through, and some of them for us was, we didn't realise some of the games that Rare had created. Like I didn't know they made California games and Off-Road, these games that I really played loads when I was a kid. But the way that we wanted to look at it was that really showcasing Rare's unique qualities, and the ones that we kind of pulled out the most were the iconic characters that Rare's created, the immersive worlds, and also the really kind of unique gameplay experiences. For me, especially from a design perspective, one of the things I really love about working at Rare is that whenever we come up with an idea, we've just got so many talented people that just want to make it a reality, particularly when it comes to gameplay and like new experiences. Just like Grab by the Ghoulies, for instance, trying something new, trying out combat on the right analog stick, it makes a really interesting gameplay mechanic. And to that point too, we wanted to select a lot of games that really showed off Rare's unique qualities, unique creations that only Rare could create, and also tell a really interesting story about Rare too as a development studio, from its humble beginnings, from the Ultimate days. I mean, there's so many kind of stories to be told in certain games. Like if we go back onto certain games like, let's whiz all the way to Nightlaw. So Nightlaw in itself, well, that was when the Stampers, they created an isometric engine called Filmation that allowed them to start showing the games industry, look, we can create isometric games. And how many studios as a result started to try and create new experiences around that too. Always trying to push the boat and try and create new experiences that really start to show off how kind of in-depth games can soon become.
I love all this, like when you select a game and you go through, there's like all these like cool different stuff. What are the milestones then? So you've set, are they sort of like achievements or? Yeah,
sure. So like Pete was saying, that we wanted to feel like each kind of game can kind of take center stage. That's why we really love the theatre metaphor. So this stage, it kind of acts like a nice kind of sampler and taster to really kind of get you hyped to get back into the game. For people that have played Nightlaw on some of these games before, we really want them to get really excited before and just get those memories rushing back of when they first played it. So the stage also acts like a hub for us too. So when we think about the full games, we've also created what we're calling our milestones. So they're slight mini achievements that the players can get through just to progress, just to show that they're completing the games. So if you press the view button, it will show you some of the missions or milestones that we've asked the players to create. So it might be something as simple as just playing through the game for the first time. It might be trying to do certain things that show you kind of the coolest moments of the games, like for instance with Nightlaw. It might be kind of breaking Sabreman's curse. Obviously in Nightlaw, Sabreman's been cursed with becoming a werewolf, and that one of the key things to it is trying to cure yourself of that curse. So again, it kind of helps you to progress through the game and tells you a little bit about the story involved in there too. Alongside that, we've got achievements inside of the game too. So we've got over 10,000 achievements across the 30 titles in the product.
That's amazing.
So it's quite a lot.
It's quite a lot.
So there's a lot of stuff in store for the players. And so when you come to this stage as well, there's a description on the left-hand side, which just gives you a bit of a brief overview to the game, when it was released, the type of experience that's in store. We're also using game help. So if you press Y at this point, it'll bring in game help to give you a little bit more of a backstory, perhaps some tips and tricks into the games just to get you through them. And that's the key point too, that for the full games, we really wanted to make them as accessible as possible. You know, like going back to some of these old games, you think like you're really hyped, you know you can get through them, and then like, whoa, what happened there? This isn't a remember it. I'm not as good at Twitch gameplay as I used to be. So we want to make them as accessible possible too. So inside of the game there'll be options, there'll be cheats that you can put onto the game. So whether it's infinite time, infinite lives, just to kind of get you through the game a lot better. We've also got, for the Spectrum, NES and arcade titles, we've also got a rewind feature in the game. So, so if you've just died or you've lost a life or you feel like I could have done so much better, particularly at Turbo Tunnel, you can rewind the game a little bit just to kind of help you get back into it.
Or RC Pro-Am.
Yeah, I played quite a lot of RC Pro-Am with P yesterday, and there's a lot of rewinding going on.
Yeah, there was a fair bit, but yeah, it does definitely come in very useful and just helps aid that frustration that you might sometimes feel when you're playing.
I really like the filter thing as well. Like, if we can we just go into this, you can, because this has got a filter on it, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, because this is really good. Cool. Can you talk to us about like a little bit about the filter stuff that you've got on? Because I think that's really interesting.
Filter on.
So achievement already.
Yeah, so I mean, this is basically kind of what we like to call our nostalgia filter. Yeah. So it's
so good.
It's basically playing how you remember it. You know, we didn't all have big fancy HD TVs back there. You know, we had little CRTs and the like. So what this is kind of our kind of a nod to that kind of gaming experience we used to have that we kind of remember and love from our childhood. So
it looks awesome.
Thanks
so
very much.
Like what Pete says, we've always wanted to be a bit more like rose tinted glasses. And there's been some really cool games out there lately, like Shovel Knight, and there's been some really interesting articles on CRT filters on Gama Sutra recently too, of just trying to kind of capture that essence of being back as a kid when you're playing through the games. But we didn't really want it to be copying a particular type of CRT. We've kind of gone a little bit on the slot mask, but we're going to be a bit more around just trying to be a bit more like Pixel Junk Shooter and Pac-Man DX Edition, where it just feels a little bit more amped up and again like playing on the rose tinted glasses feel. So we haven't gone particularly for an 18-inch CRT television. I'm going to die. Oh, he's turned into a wolf. Cool. And that'll be available for Spectrum, NES and arcade titles too. And the player can instantly switch them off as well if they prefer to just have it in a pure clean mode.
It looks better with a filter, I think. Like, it looks more fun with a filter.
Definitely for the gunfight looks really cool as well, particularly with its kind of monochrome setting that we're really excited to show players. And it all just comes together to a really full-on experience that we really hope players will be really up for experiencing.